Welcome to another Men of War Assault Squad commentary by me, Morris90. It's been a while, about a month or two, since I last cast a video, but the latest netcode made it pretty hard for me to create videos. And this is a ranked game. We're facing someone, SAS29 I believe. I don't know really. You'll have to watch in the end. I don't think they're noobs. They had a higher ranked rating than us. So, what seems to be the new trend in Men of War is that you get an assault squad with Germany, since getting in there is pretty important nowadays. So here I'm just duking it out with my opponent's first units. Mastodon 101 is one of our opponents, and he had like 600 ranked points or whatever it's called. So yeah, nowadays in these competitive games it's pretty important to get in there, so I usually skip the MG, since in these close quarters I will probably not need it. And a new thing I've started to comment on is zone control, which I've realized is quite important for some people. Even my friends have problems with zone control. And what I mean by zone control is basically you control the cap zone. So you should set up units to cover it appropriately, so that the enemy can't move around freely in that zone which you want to control. For instance, you can do this by positioning your units very well. And I've played this workshop a bit now, so I know pretty well where to put things. And here I put my AA gun here, so you can cover both the center, which is important when putting out your first heavy MG, or likewise they should be able to cover both points, your own and the center, and you should always prioritize the center. So yeah, so now it can cover this alley as well, so they can't run forward and nade it, and the infantry stays there to cover the leftmost point so that they can't flank there either. And as you see, I've brought in an Volkssturm, and that's because I need nades, not people. People die, nades don't. I just need the nades from the Volkssturm. And I also brought in that AA gun. You haven't seen me do that yet, I believe, but I read somewhere on forums that they lowered the price on those guns, and to be honest, they are pretty tough to take out. So other means to enforce your domination of the map is putting people in trees. This map has about 3 or 4 trees on our side, which you can put your laddies in. And our enemy has a mortar now. Good choice in my opinion. And you saw me sniping a house there, which you can put an MG in if you're on the other side, and it's a damn good position. And now he's mortaring my AA gun. So yeah, the new netcode in the latest patch made it possible to make these vids, not with any graphics at all, but and very low player count. Yeah. So now I got my point under control, and there's one of those trees, and here's another, and the one tree he ran past there was a tree you can climb in as well. And no, I didn't clear that but now I got my zone control pretty much. except for that AT gun, which forces me to move my unit. But basically, my opponent can approach me from two directions: the alley and the street. And it just takes an MG and this AA gun to deal with that, pretty much. And then I place those guys there to be pretty annoying. So here I'm focusing on taking out that Greyhound, which Ankan, who I'm playing with, is so nice to take out. Oh, we weren't playing the SAS now. We weren't. Oh, well, never mind. We're playing someone else. I just saw his name there, but I can't pronounce it at this point. So yeah, I'm keeping some. Another thing I've noticed is you should hide your men pretty good by utilizing line of sight. And I've bought a mortar to counter his mortar. I can't really recommend this after having used it myself, since they miss 90% of the time. But yeah, keep your men out of out of line of sight, so that the enemy MGs have a hard time taking you out, and but you still can cut off sections of the map, such as me placing my MG somewhere. Oh, I'm placing him in center. No, I'm not. I'm running around. I'm running around. So like putting your men there, where I'm putting them behind at that building. I don't know what to call it. The small factory, we'll call it the small factory. Not too close to the walls though, because that can result in your units being seen through the wall, which I think putting them a half a meter away from the wall will won't do that basically. And Brandenburgers, as they are a bit stealthy, so they can get to these positions easily, as well as commandos. So from this position they can pretty much cover the center pretty good and stay out of direct fire from tanks and such. And such. And I have to direct control this laddie, since he has been drinking too much, he can't hit. And really make it? Ish, yes he did. And my opponent put a guy in the next house, which is pretty smart, because there's a... I don't know if they fixed it in the latest patch, but in previous versions, infantry could still see through walls if they're in a building, as if the building was a part of them or something. So now I'm moving out some cover there, since they can't flank me from the left anymore. I can put them there so they can cover the point very well. Now mortaring that AT gun. So what else? Well, since it's been 2 months or 1 month or something since I last casted, shoutcasted or whatever you want, commentated, I have not spoken of the new units, which you all are familiar with by now, so I don't have to do that. I played the Miss Instinct one time on this latest patch, but I didn't record it. Too bad. It was a pretty hectic game. I was a bit ragey during it, because I used a new, I won't say new, but a different approach than I've ever used, so to speak. And there's a croc moving in. No, it's Sherm. But Sticker Rivets will have no trouble taking that out. Well, the tactic or economic way the MS Instinct used was that he brings in lots of infantry for special units, since their squads have become bigger, and they are kinda elite infantry. They are pretty good and handy to bring in. So he brings in those, which means that he won't have any units in for ordinary points, or as many units in as for, so to speak, ordinary points, MP points. So he gains lots of manpower points, so you can bring in better tanks and such. So this I've tried, it's pretty useful. And there's the Stug. So that's a tactic I can recommend. The what's it called? The Germans don't have that good infantry in special units. The Fallschirmjägers are wasted on that half track, which you don't need when you finally can get those. And the Brandenburgers comes with lots of Panzerfausts, which they don't do too much good. You only have to have one of those groups, and you can just save those Panzerfausts so they don't die. So yeah. And now our opponents, what they can do. Yes, we can talk about another thing, counter zone control. That is pretty hard. So what I usually do is I just don't run in my entire squad and such, and I don't buy lots of mortars and tanks to do that either. Well, perhaps one, and then I am very, very careful with it, so that it won't die. And as you can see, his mortar is finally starting to remove the sandbags and decrewing my units. I'm just chasing his Wolverine now. Well, what you should be doing when you don't have the center, in my opinion, is chasing after enemy tanks, unless they are creating zone control, so to speak. So what you should be doing is trying to take out my units which have zone control, such as this mortar, perhaps. Not, I wouldn't recommend it. He'd have to take in some artillery to do that effectively, or shell the crap out of that wall, but focus on the MGs, anti-aircraft guns, everything that kills your infantry from coming in. And if the enemy has a tank, you have to counter that. And just don't lose too much of your units, because it will fail if you do. So yeah, a sniper is, if you can get a sniper for special points, that's pretty good for zone control. He can stay hidden and shoot MGs and such. But yeah, take out the AA guns, the MGs, so that you can run infantry into the zone and then force your opponent to try to recapture the point, or stop you from keep campaigning. And when you do that, you can establish your own zone control. You put up your own heavy MGs, your own MGs, to stop his infantry from stopping you. And that's basically how you can counter it. But if you still have retarded teammates, that can be quite difficult. Though if I were our opponents, I would, they have M8s, but I would focus down this AA gun which I have, and the mortar should be shooting at MGs. And I don't know if we have any tank that creates zone control. There's something on the right there. Is there? No, we don't have. So they can pretty much bring in a good zone control tank, such as a jumbo. It's great. It's hard to get killed on it. Yeah. The Stu is not a great zone control. It's an anti-tank gun, and it's having great difficulty in killing infantry, in my opinion. And what's that shooting? Yes, we have an SFH team to, or what? Yeah, to kill to kill his mortars. And one of my Panzerfaust took out that croc. So that's a Panzer 1000 that I've had for quite some time. So in that manner it was a good suggestion to bring in those Brandenburgs. And here I just steal his 5th kill. But at this point I highly doubt that they could, perhaps if they took in a, what's called Calliope, they could shell the entire area. And that's a good zone control cleaner, so to speak. It kills lots of infantry. So that's good. And don't run in your guys like that. Especially conscripts. So now I bring in a Nebelwerfer. So what you can do with this tactic of bringing in infantry for special points is you can get a Tiger earlier than you can a Veteran Tiger. The Veteran Tiger is about 15 minutes in, you can get that, or more, 20. You can get a Tiger I think you can get a Tiger earlier than that, if you do like this, and bring in like Anzacs, Brandenburgers, Ruetzels, what else? Guards rifles, and such. So what we should be doing, which we are not, is pushing the right flank. When you get this zone control, you can focus on doing other things. I mean, this AA gun will sort itself out, it will handle it. If it comes infantry, it will shoot it. You don't have to focus on that part anymore. You can move to other things, such as the right point. And for our opponents, since you like to hear what they should be doing instead of what they're doing, in my opinion they should be bringing in infantry instead of artillery. And then you're like, oh, but then my infantry will get killed. Yes, but if you spend your money on non-infantry units, you won't cap, because you won't have the manpower to do that, in my opinion. I usually, if my, so to speak, my anti-tank, all my anti-tank dies, and they like roll in an IS-2 or something, I usually just spam infantry and try to keep the point by jumping into ditches and covering myself with Rob Schneider. I don't know. I do what must be done and get my units killed. And now our opponents have brought in a priest as well, so they are now overcommitted to artillery. But they have some good decisions. They have lots of good decisions. But a good thing is bringing in M8, which in my opinion is nerfed to the ground. It's pretty shitty then nowadays. I don't suggest getting it unless you're in a supreme position of boredomness. But it could be good on this map, but not when you have this amount of artillery. But with the M8 you can lob in shells to take out such things as MGs, heavy MGs, and my AA gun. And yeah, the DMS game, I lost it. I had all 3 points, but then he started bringing in all his Anzacs and special units and such. And I was like, oh my god, how can he afford all these units? Rage, rage. So I I lost. Didn't understand his tactic. And even more, he took out my Panzerforce all the time with his Shermans. And even still, my units, my special unit infantry aren't that good. So now I've suggested to Stickerevitz, or Ankan, who I'm playing with, that we should attack the rightmost point. And now we're seeing our opponents bringing in even more tanks. And I just gave some units to Stickerevitz. And now you see the classic thing of running in without infantry support. I can see him, his tank probably can't see me unless I fire at him like I do, so he can't see me. And I point out that the artillery is over there. So now they are making a last effort to capture the center. But in my opinion, they overcommitted their resources. They should have just gotten one of those tanks. So basically this tactic of using special points for infantry, it pays out if you... what's it called? Create zone control, so to speak. So that when your enemy, if he saves for perhaps a 76 Jumbo or a Super Pershing, you have so much zone control, so much units that cover the center and prevents him from doing anything, that you can manage the time left, so to speak. But if you're much better than your opponent, you should still be going for that tactic. So yeah, I can recommend that approach. Don't know if everybody agrees with me, but yeah. So this game will soon be over, and we'll see the scoreboard. So before I forget it, I'll say good game to our opponents, and thanks for watching, and I will be uploading more games soon. I got like 4 games, perhaps not the best 2 games of those, but I will bring in you ranked games, because ranked games are more fun than me doesn't quit. So yeah, I will be bringing you more games. Again, with crappy graphic, because they can't fix that netcode. But I got handed to our opponents, they're not giving up. And it was fun playing with them. Bye bye.